Hey guys, I'm Lindsay with Yoga Nut. Welcome to our Fall into Yoga Challenge, 7 days of yoga for about 10 minutes per day. Today's practice is a grounding yoga practice. Let's get started. Go ahead and take a moment here to connect to your body and your breath by beginning to ground down through the sitting bones and the legs, the feet, and the ankles. We'll let our palms rest in the lap face down to find a sense of grounding and centering in our bodies today. Take a moment to sit up tall through the spine, long through the crown of the head. And then either close your eyes or bring your gaze towards the ground in front of you. And just begin to notice your breath. Nice and easy, natural breath in and out of the nose if that's available. Noticing the feeling of the legs and the sitting bones against the mat. Noticing the connection of your legs and your sitting bones and the support of the earth's surface beneath you. The more grounded you feel and centered you feel through that lower half of the body, the more you'll notice that you can expand and lengthen through the top half of the body. When you're ready, begin to lift your gaze or open your eyes. On an inhale, let's reach the arms up and overhead. On an exhale, bring the palms through heart center, letting them come back towards the mat or the legs. Sitting up nice and tall, just begin to roll on our sitting bones. Just going around in a circle here, getting some movement, connecting to the earth's surface beneath you, keeping the spine long. As your heart comes forward, go ahead and switch directions. Again, going around and around, finding that movement, but also noticing the ground, the earth, the mat beneath you. When your heart comes to forward, go ahead and come all the way up, sitting nice and tall. We'll keep that left leg in front. Take the right leg, bring it beside the body for deer legs. Sitting up nice and tall, inhale through the arms, reach them up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, let's do a gentle twist towards that front knee. 2 breaths here. Continuing to notice the ground beneath you. Inhale, standing tall or sitting tall. Reach up tall through those hands. Exhale, opposite side. On the inhale, we'll come back to center. As you exhale, bring the palms through the heart. Hands come to the mat. And then switch your legs. So that right leg comes in front. Left leg's beside. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach through the arms. Exhale, twist towards that front knee. 2 breaths here. See if you can keep both hips grounding down towards the mat. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, opposite twist. 2 breaths. Inhale, reach and lengthen up through the arms as you untwist. On an exhale, bring the palms down. Go ahead and bring those hands towards the mat. Knees are right underneath the hips for tabletop pose. We'll take that right foot, step it between the hands, and just sink into your lunge. Keeping the hands grounded. If the ground feels far away, feel free to put some yoga blocks or books underneath your hands. Feeling that stretch in the hips. 2 more breaths here. Really noticing the foot connecting to the earth's surface. Bringing the hands on the inside of that right foot. Go ahead and walk the foot towards the outer edge of the mat. Once there, see if you can sink into your hips again. And this time let your knee open out towards the outer edge of the mat for our lizard pose. If it's available, you can come down onto your forearms. We'll take 3 breaths here. Noticing the ground beneath you, your hands, your forearms, and your feet pressing into the earth. On an inhale, lift and coming back up. Bring that right foot back underneath the hip bone here. Back into that lunge. Tucking the back toe. Exhale, downward dog. Both feet step towards the back of the mat. Gaze comes forward, coming into plank, and then lower down to the belly. Drop your knees if you need to. Slide those forearms forward. They're pressing into the mat. Palms are pressing into the mat, reaching through the heart, and then lengthen through the spine for Sphinx Pose. 2 breaths. Notice the belly and the front of the legs connecting to the mat. Tucking the toes. When you're ready, hands come underneath the shoulders, tabletop pose. This time we'll take that left foot between the hands. Low lunge on the opposite side, just sinking into the hips once more. Remember, you can have some yoga blocks or books underneath your hands if you need to. 2 breaths here. Feel that stretch. Notice the connection of the body to the mat and the mat to the earth beneath you. We'll bring both hands on the inside of that left foot. Walk it towards the outer edge of the mat. Press into the foot. See if you can open your knee just a bit to really get into that left hip joint. Staying here, or if it's available, coming down onto the forearms. 2 breaths. Noticing the pressing down through the palms, through the forearms, the ground beneath you. When you're ready, bring those hands back into center. Foot comes back into the midline, so hands are on either side of that foot. Sink into your lunge for a moment. Then tuck your back toe, lengthen through the leg. On an exhale, stepping both feet to the back of the mat, downward dog. Hands and feet are grounded. Bring the gaze forward. Inhale for plank. Exhale, lower down. Drop the knees if you need to. Untucking the toes, slide the forearms forward, Sphinx Pose. Really pressing into the mat with the palms, with the forearms. Heart is reaching forward, lengthening through the spine. Noticing the tops of your toes, the tops of your feet, and the length of your legs, all of it pressing into the mat. Even that low belly and hips. Tuck those toes on an exhale. Hands come underneath the shoulders, coming through tabletop to downward dog. Gaze comes forward between the hands. When you're ready, walk the hands and feet towards one another. Forward fold for a moment to connect to the feet, really pressing through the pads of the feet and the heels. When you're ready, on an inhale, nice tiny bend in the knees. Let's begin to rise all the way up, reaching the arms up and overhead, and bringing the palms together at heart center. Pause here in a mountain pose. Feet are right underneath the hips. Pads of the feet and the heels are grounded. Notice as you press down through the feet that your legs begin to activate. Standing tall, see if you can lengthen through the spine and the crown of the head. I'm going to take a moment here to find a drishti, a focal point, something to gaze upon. Bring your gaze there, and then all of the weight to that right foot. Left foot comes to the ankle, the calf, or the quad. Press the foot into the leg back into the foot, grounding down through that extended leg, standing tall through the spine. 3 breaths here. In our grounded tree, really rooting down through the feet, noticing, imagining that there's roots growing down out of your feet into the earth, connecting you to the earth's surface. 1 more breath here. On an exhale, release, bring the hands and the feet down, shake it out for a moment. Bring the palms back to heart center. Feet are grounded once more, standing up nice and tall. Bring your gaze toward a drishti, that focal point. And then bring all of your weight to the left foot. Right foot opens. Foot comes either to ankle, calf, or quad. Press the foot into the leg back into the foot. Really grounding down through that bottom leg, standing tall through the spine. Envisioning those roots growing out of your foot and down into the earth, connecting you to the earth's surface. Strong, tall, yet grounded. 1 more breath here in your tree pose. On an exhale, let it go. Bring those hands and feet down. Coming into our mountain pose, palms are facing towards the front of the mat. Standing as tall as you can, noticing that sense of grounding once more through the feet, reaching through the crown of the head, a strong mountain. Inhale, lift the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, bring the palms to heart center. And either close your eyes or bring your gaze towards the ground once more. Pause for a moment. Breathing in and out of the nose. Noticing your breath. Noticing your feet grounding into the earth, standing tall. And noticing that even as we ground, we are able to connect to the earth, but we're also able to move freely about the earth, keeping that sense of grounding and stability as we move through our lives on and off the mat. One more breath here. Opening your eyes or lifting your gaze when you're ready. Namaste. That was your yoga for grounding. Thank you for joining us.